We want a delicious and easy weeknight chicken dinner that is so juicy, so flavorful, and so moist. And this garlic parmesan chicken is just that. Now, I first had this recipe or a variation of this recipe from Boston Market. Their Tuscan garlic parmesan chicken was one of my favorites. So I had to figure out how to make it at home, and we could just make this together. Let me show you the ingredients that I use. I've got a whole chicken that I'm going to spatchcock. Now this one is about 4.5 pounds. If you get a bigger chicken, it's just going to take longer to cook. If you get a smaller chicken, it's just going to cook quicker. And you know, having to feel about to go to organic and all that stuff, but just make sure you have a whole chicken. I've also got some spices here. We've got our generals that always show up, your onion powder, your garlic powder, some paprika, black pepper. I've got some Italian seasoning for a delicious crust. We're also going to season it and add some olive oil so it gets that nice golden color. And then, of course, we're going to make a delicious garlic parm sauce with the easy ingredients that go in a parm sauce, which is Parmesan cheese, heavy cream, and some fresh garlic. All right, let's get started. Bam, let me spatchcock this chicken. I'm only putting on gloves so the chicken doesn't slip and slide everywhere. Let me out of my way. Move it. And I'm gonna put this, we're not gonna use the heavy cream and parm and garlic until later. But let's go ahead and prep our chicken. So I've got a whole chicken here, and what we do when we spatchcock it is we're going to remove the backbone. It is probably one of my favorite ways to prep a whole chicken because it allows the chicken to lay flat. It allows it to cook quickly as well. I have a whole blog post and another video on YouTube that shows how to do this method. But essentially, we're cutting up the backbone. And half the time, I kind of butcher it. It's okay. You're going to cut through cartilage. So it's going to make a little bit of sounds. And we're going to use these kitchen shears to make sure they're sharp. So I've got through one side. Let's get to the other. And the way that I notice that I'm getting on the right sides, usually the backbone, sometimes it's a little bit different in color. And I just try to go on the sides of that. And if your chicken has giblets and all that stuff in it, you want to remove that from there as well. Mine didn't. Now sometimes it gets really tricky up here. You can see there's a bone right here. I'm going to cut around it, and then I'm going to try to remove that later. What is that, the wishbone? Oh, I broke it. Whatever, get it out of here. All right, so I removed this. And for this, I'm going to actually put this in like a gallon freezer bag to save it for later because I do like to spatchcock a lot of chickens. And the beauty of this chicken back is that you can use it to create stock later on. Okay, so I'm gonna remove all that. And as you can see right now, our chicken can somewhat lay flat, right? This part in the middle, I like to kind of give it a little bit of a snip. You can also use a paring knife. And for me, I like to kind of just give it a little bit of head start because we're going to flip this over and flatten it. Cut it. So now that we have removed that backbone, somewhat flattened it, I'm going to turn my chicken over. And then I'm just going to kind of push down on this. And if I did a good enough job cutting that backbone, this will lay flat. I didn't. I have to do it again. Can you give me a paring knife? Usually it works. Just don't cut yourself. So I have done that. Now I should be able to lay it even flatter. There we go. Some people are able to just smush it down, but maybe I'm just weak. I don't know. Whatever. But anyways, there our chicken is now laying flat. And it is, baby, it is spatchcocked. I'm going to use this. I'm going to remove some extra fat that I see kind of just hanging out because I'm not going to eat it. Just cleaning it up just a little bit. All right. Voila. So now we're going to make our seasoning mix because we want to season our chicken before we dump it with sauce. So I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of olive oil. That's my rice going off. Always making something else while this is going. So we're gonna use a whole quarter cup. My bad. And because this is a garlic parm, we want to make sure there's a lot of garlic. So I'm going to use about 1.5 teaspoons. About a teaspoon of salt. About a teaspoon of paprika for color. Goodness. About 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder for flavor. And then about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're just gonna mix this till it makes a nice, kind of like paste for our chicken. All right, and now I'm gonna bring my chicken back that we have already spatchcocked, and I'm going to use our little spice mixture to season it all over. Try to get some of the spices. Right now I'm just getting oil. I want oil and spices. And I'm gonna not just do it on the outside, I'm gonna go under that skin as well. So let me just massage her in. Now, if you want even more flavor and you've got some time, feel free to do this part ahead of time and let it marinate. I'm kind of just, this is when I don't have time to do that and I'm not thinking ahead of time. It's still going to be really good and flavorful. Now that I have seasoned and massaged this chicken, I am going to put it in a skillet to cook. So I'm just gonna, you could also do this in a sheet pan. I'm just gonna pick it up and drop it. Oh, okay. This kind of barely fits in my skillet, but we're gonna make it work. All right, so we've got our chicken prepped and is ready for the oven. And the one reason why I love to spatchcock a chicken is because it cooks a lot faster. It lays it flat. You remove that backbone, so it's gonna cook a lot quicker, and I can cook it at a higher time. Now, because I like to throw stuff in the oven and do a bunch of other things because life is chaotic, I love to use a probe thermometer when I am making any big cuts of meat. And so I've got this one that I use from ThermoWorks. I'm gonna put it in the chicken, and then I get to control it from my phone, and I set an alarm so I know when it's done. We want the chicken, at least the part that I'm putting this in, I'm going to put it in the thighs, to reach a temperature about 175. The good thing is that even though this is going to reach 175, it's still going to keep our chicken nice and juicy because we spatchcocked it. All right, so I'm just going to throw this in this thick part here. Oh. I want to make sure I get in a nice area that it's not touching bone. And the reason why I'm sticking it in the thickest part of the thigh where it's not touching bone is because sometimes your bone temperature is going to read a little bit higher, so it can throw it off with the thermometer. So I like to try to make sure that my thermometer probe is in the middle of the meat. Yeah, let's get this off in the oven. I'm so awkward. It's been so long. It's not done yet, but you can see it's already getting kind of nice and golden. And we're going to add our breadcrumb mixture on it. That's going to give it an additional layer of flavor and also crunchiness. All right, so for my breadcrumb mixture, I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons. And 2 tablespoons of oil and a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. And I'm just gonna mix that. You want to make sure your breadcrumbs are fully covered in that oil. So it should look like that. And then I'm just gonna add it on the breast area. And then we're going to put this back in the oven to let this get nice and toasted and let our chicken finish cooking. Now that I've covered it with my breadcrumbs, I'm gonna put this back in the oven for about 10 minutes. Did I mention that my oven has been preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit? I don't know if I said that earlier. Did I say that earlier? We'll put a text. Yes. We'll make sure there's text. All right, here I go. While our chicken is in the oven getting nice and brown with those Italian breadcrumbs, we're gonna make our garlic Parmesan sauce. And we're just gonna use these 3 ingredients: heavy whipping cream, Parmesan, and a garlic clove. So I'm just gonna peel a garlic clove or 2. I think I'm gonna clip with 2. And then I'm gonna crush it. I usually would use, I'll just use a quick knife. Just smash it a little bit. I'm gonna add that to the pot. I'm also gonna add 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. So I'm just gonna add the heavy cream and the clove of garlic in a medium-sized pan. I'm gonna heat it over medium heat until the heavy cream starts to boil a bit. I'm going to grate some Parmesan cheese, about 1/2 cup. You could also buy Parmesan cheese. It's already grated. I just really like the blocks. This is going to be a minute. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is 1/2 cup. I think I got what I needed. I think I got it. Okay. See here, we are at a rolling bubble. I kind of just want to thicken it up a little bit. Not a lot of it, but enough. I'm actually going to go ahead and remove this from the heat. And then I'm going to add my grated Parmesan cheese to it. It would have been smart if I had something to start with. I'm so silly. I'll grab this antique looking spoon here. Just make sure we get that cheese mixed in there good. And that turned into a big old clock. Oh, that's the garlic. And you can remove that garlic clove so that you don't bite into it. It's just to get that quick garlic flavor. I'm gonna get rid of that. We've got a nice cheese sauce here. All right, so I'm also going to add some fresh parsley over it. I know people are probably like, why parsley? It just makes it look prettier when it's done. It's not a requirement. Usually when I make this, I don't add the parsley, but for presentation's sake, today, I'm going to add it. I don't think it changes the flavor much. I'm going to go ahead and give it a nice quick chop. I think my chicken should be good and ready to come out. So let me put this to the side and go and get that. Alrighty. So our chicken is nice and bubbled. And I'm going to go ahead and finish her off. And remember, we added our little probe in there. That's how we know that the temperature of what it reached. But another way to check to make sure your chicken is done is if you cut in between the chicken leg and the thigh and those juices run clear, then your chicken is done as well. All right, so I'm going to take that sauce that I have and I'm just going to drizzle it over the chicken. Boom, boom, boom. Drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. Oh, I put it on the floor. This is a nice creamy sauce. Cheese sauce chicken. And then, all right, I'm about to sprinkle it with the parsley. And it looks like a big old glob right now, so this is where the parsley, oh wait, I should probably take this out. Let me make sure I get, Woo. All right, here we go. Let me take the probe out. I'm just gonna sprinkle parsley. Just make it look pretty. Oh, that looks good. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yummy. I think that's enough parsley. I'm having fun with it though. Our chicken is done, but we'll want to wait about 10 to 15 minutes to let those juices reabsorb back into that chicken, because if you cut it right now, any juice that's in there is just gonna run right out. So I'm gonna just let it chill here for 10 minutes while I get my sides together and get ready to enjoy this chicken. Alrighty. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes and I'm hungry, so let's go ahead and carve into this. I'm gonna grab what is it called? A drumstick, because that's what hubby likes. And you could totally move this to a cutting board to carve it. I'm just being silly. Oh, my drumstick got stuck to the pot. Ooh. Boom, let me pick it up. Don't drop it. I dropped it. We don't have to share this. I just wanted to show the inside. Oopsie. All right, I'm gonna put that on here and pretend like that didn't happen. That chicken juicy though. That is juicy and delicious. As I screw up the carving of it. Yeah. So juicy. Why is chicken so juicy? It's organic, so it doesn't have any of that added stuff in it. I just cooked a really juicy chicken. Oh, sorry, David. And there you have it. We have made some of the most delicious, juicy garlic parmesan chicken, and I am going to dig into my plates. Da-da-da. This juicy meat. I paired it with some white rice and some leftover salad. Had some dressing on it. Let's try it. I took a really big bite. This is good. This is real good. I'm about to take another bite. I'm sorry. All right, guys. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Until the next time, I'm going to go eat. And I'll see you later. Bye.